Welcome to Why Knowledge Matters. In this episode, Dr. Monjur Chowdhury joins me and he will talk about the purpose of education through the lens of dialectical contradiction. Welcome, Dr. Monjur Chowdhury. It's great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Yannick. I cannot be more happier to see you. You are omnipotent. I see that. You are everywhere. I saw you a few weeks back in northern Quebec. Then you went to Europe. Then you are in Switzerland. You are in Germany. I'm jealous of you, my friend. So thank you very much. Bon après-midi. Shubho Shakal in Bengali. Dobre Utra in Russian. You know, I speak 4 languages and I'm looking forward to learn more. Thank you very much, Yannick.
To start with, what is, according to you, the purpose of education, specifically through the lens of dialectical contradiction?
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm so enthusiastic to talk about the purpose of education. Being an educator, I have been thinking years and years, what is happening? Why we go to school? Why I'm an educator? What I'm doing for the humanity, for our children, for our younger generation. And my point is here that do we, the people all over the world, the responsible people of the world, the leadership of the world, are asking themselves that to ask ourselves genuinely that if we are doing our job, what is the purpose of education? What is being said by Socrates, those great people, the prophet of the humanity? They were talking about the purpose of education. It is the purifying our soul. This was the purpose. Now, we are in the, I would say, we are in the youth of 21st century. We are in a time, it's called planetary civilization. The question is, are you serving our children? Are you serving the humanity? Therefore, I ask this question, the purpose of education through the lens of dialectic contradiction. Now, the word dialect is, I know it is very philosophical, but I want to make it very clear, and everyone, it will be very clear if we say something, anything, if we believe in science, there's all the time, there's the contradiction should be there. If we go to the atomic particles, the subatomic particles, we'll see how atoms becomes ions, how they are become charged. Without the fight, we cannot fight. And in fact, everywhere, we ourselves were born by having been fight. It is clear. Now, I told you I speak many languages. I would say my second language is Russian. When I studied philosophy, and in Russian, it called, I'll be speaking a little bit of many languages, because we are fortunate that people all over the world, they're speaking in different languages. And if I speak, I can communicate in 4 languages, at least for now. So in Russian, when I learned that, it's called Единство и борьба противоположностей. What does it mean? In English, it's unity and struggle of opposite. The same thing in science, as I said, that if there is no contradiction, if there is no fight, we cannot find the outcome. Now, when I'm saying the purpose of education through the lens of dialectic contradiction, it means we have to think in a systemic way. It's called system thinking. What does it mean again? Because everything is a complex way of thinking of. Without complexity, if you do not think something as a system, as you see, we biologically human being, we are a system too. Our all the different kind of nervous system, the circulatory system, those all the different systems are making us who we are. Therefore, unfortunately, this is the challenge where we are. We human beings are thinking nature is a resource. It's just a matter, it's a material. Thinking of materialistic way of everything is a problem here. And thinking, when we are thinking that the resource can be squeezed, it can be discarded, we can use it whatever ways we can do, and see what is happening with the environment, with our climate change. We believe, if we are science, we believe in science, we must ask ourselves how we are treating with our nature. Now, how we are treating with human being, by the way, because we are part of the nature, human being. We should not think that human beings are like something, a materialistic thing. This is where the problem is. Therefore, we, even scientists, we are thinking in a linear, more reductive understanding of the world. Just to thinking that the materialistic things are happening. The good news is, I think we have alternative. And this is the alternative, is the dialectical system of thinking views. The nature and society through the lens of complexity. If we see it in a complex way, if we think that, yes, we can find a better solution, we have. You see, human beings has been proving that it is possible to solve the problem. We saw it, the horrible pandemic that we are going through. Within 1 year, this human being, the scientists were able to find the solution. And I believe we could do it even faster if we are more united. If we could think more the way how human beings think, more about system thinking, more about how to resolve the human problem, not my problem. And I cannot be more enthusiastic to share with you lots of ideas. I know we cannot do it in one session, and I'll be glad, I'll be happy if you kindly give me the opportunity to share this. I want to share with the world. This is what my purpose is. My purpose is to just give, not to get. I enjoy giving. Thank you.
What made you interested in education, given that you did your bachelor, your master, and your PhD at the Moscow Power Engineering Institute?
Yeah, I'm very much grateful to remind me who am I and from where I am, who I'm working with. Yes, I'm fortunate. I was able to get a scholarship when I was just 19 plus years. I went to Russia, to Moscow, and I was also fortunate to get the opportunity to study in an institute called Moscow Power Engineering Institute. This is one of those institutes. The Russian Revolution, after the revolution, the Russian or Soviet leader, the world leader, the leader of proletariat, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin, made it his first declaration for, as you know, for any economy, it is important to think about energy. So Moscow Power Engineering Institute was the institute for development of electrical, not only electrical engineering, the energy itself, how to use for the economy. And he has defined it in Russian. My Russian friends and people who are listening to me, they can understand in Russian. That he called Sovietskaya vlast, это есть I'm confusing here. I may confuse it. In other words, the Russian or Soviet power should be combined with the the Soviet people and energy. So Moscow Power Engineering Institute was built on that goal. And I was one of many of my friends from all over the world. We went to Soviet Union to study electrical engineering, to study energy, and to utilize it for the development of our own nations from where we are, or the country where we were born. So I was very much fortunate about that. And yes, I did study electrical engineering. I did study how to design electrical power system, and the word system is here. And I learned that the system. And therefore, you'll be hearing from me a lot of time the word system. This is where I coming, because I realized that everything is a system. Nothing, even subatomic particles, is also is a system. We see it inside atoms. We have millions of other things there. We scientists are understanding right now this is not the end, and therefore we are getting quantum mechanics is on the horizon, and we are going to use it. But I also appreciate you are saying I'm highly educated. No, I'm not highly educated at all. I can tell you what I believe. Like Socrates once said, that I know one thing, that I know nothing. And this is why I'm there. I'm just learning. I'm so grateful to you. I'm grateful to my student. When I go to school, when I teach, I first thing I say, even younger kids, I say, guys, I'm not your teacher. I'm your friend. And you are my teacher also. Please teach me. Let us teach each other. This is what my philosophy is. So yes, and you mentioned, I'm very, very grateful to you. You mentioned, I do not know how you know it. Professor Nasiruddin Ahmed is a brilliant mind of our time. I would say one of the brilliant mind. Many people do not know, but the people in the control theory, or he has been working on mathematical modeling for more than 50 years. He's a professor emeritus at Ottawa University. And I was again blessed to have him working with optimization of many things. We can optimize everything. Optimizing our dialogue with you and I, we can optimize it. And you can make it a mathematical model. And this mathematical model can be beautifully used for the betterment of humankind. And Professor Renewable Energy is doing that. And he has hundreds of highly successful scientists all over the world. And therefore, I do not have that skills and knowledge. I do not know how I get the opportunity to be his students, but I'm really, really fortunate that I was able to work with him. So therefore, my goal is to focus, to go back to the purpose of education. We can be the greatest scientists of the world. We can be greatest specialists on some areas until and unless we do not use this knowledge for the betterment of human being, solely for human being. This all I don't think would make any sense for us. Therefore, I am happy that you are asking me this question. Thank you.
According to you, what is the purpose of education? And can you further elaborate on it?
Yes, so this is a fundamental question, and you see, this is very useful. I can tell you one thing, first of all. Last 15 to 16 years, apart from my day job for my survival, I have been working on this question, the purpose of education. And based on this, I, along with a great number of people, of course, I did not do alone. We developed a model we call AlivEducation model. And I call also it's a triangular model. I wish I can show you by drawing. So triangular model. This is the triangle. Do you see that triangle? And here is what important is. In this triangle, we do not need too much things, but we must first with the purpose. The base of this triangle is purpose of education. You know, Yannick, I'm telling you one thing. We all human beings have a complexity. Again, they thinking, the system thinking. I was shy for many years to talk about this because parents, we, myself including, I being a parent of two daughters, we only want that our children would go to school, they'll get the great outcome of their studies and got a job for $300,000, $200,000 job and put the top. This is all 99.9% of, including myself, we want. But do you really ask ourselves that so what? They got $200,000 job. So what? Are they connecting with the world? Are they serving to the humanity? This question most of us do not ask. And as a result, the government, the leadership, they are the reflection of us. They are representing us. So what they do, they design a curriculum, they do the educational system, and we, being the educators, being the teachers, we go to school, and we are busy with completing the curriculum. Every day's job, day to do job. But how much time we spend to talk with our children, to talk with our students, hey guys, do you know why you are in school? I have many things to share with you. I have so many things to share with you, but this is based on this. I said, what about we talk about the purpose of education? My first lesson, when I do my lesson plan, every time my first question is why I am going to teach in this class. And I had to ask my children, and I do it. I said, guys, why you are here? Is it to get A+ for the math? I teach math and science. Or do you have anything else in mind? So therefore, AlivEducation based on the purpose of education. And the purpose, interestingly, it's for my own life. I'm thinking, when I ask the purpose, I'm amazed. I feel abundance of beauty for me. It is inner beauty. It is not outside beauty. Because it is endless. There is so much, you know. It is not money. It is not about $100,000 job, nothing. So therefore, I am motivated. My students are motivated. And you will be happy also. It is like a big gossip, maybe. I'm blessed that I have students and parents. They're so happy. They said, we need you. I don't want to say this. I have taken a job to go to Northern Quebec, and some parents are upset. Why I'm leaving? I said, yes, I'll be, these children are my children. I'll be from there too for them. So my students, one of my students last year, she wrote a wonderful, an emotional email to me, grade 10 student. She said she was struggling at the beginning of the course. And at the end, she ended up with a brilliant outcome of her course, a brilliant result. And she wrote me an email. I have this email that, Mr. Chowdhury, today is a sad day because our course is ending and you are leaving. I cried. So this is what we teachers, we need to be connected with your children. So this is the purpose, because I talk about purpose. And as a result, she did also well in her math, by the way. So therefore, I do not forget about that part. So I have the other two parts of this triangle. The one is the communication. When I'm saying communication, it's the connection. It is the creative, it is the connection from heart to heart. This is what, of course, when I'm talking to you, you see how happy I am when I can talk to you. Je parle français, je connais que ton langue maternelle, c'est le français. Je peux parler français. I can speak in Russian. And when I'm speaking with their language, and I had a wonderful experience with the senators of Canadian senators in the Senate of Canada. And I'll be sharing this record with you. I talk about this, the mother tongue, the language, the culture. 21st century is the time when we need to be connected with all over the world. When we are saying, yes, even 50 years back, people could not imagine where we are. And I want to talk about this. I have so many things to share with you. Where we are going, it is not about 50 years. It is about 2 years and 3 years. What will be, everything will be changed. So therefore, the communication is very important. We need to communicate and should not forget about the root, about the authenticity, our connectivity, our inner soul. We should not forget about this. And then, of course, I do not forget about mathematics. I do not forget about science, because without that, we cannot understand the universe. It was not possible. If Galileo, Newton, Maxwell, Pythagoras was not there, we couldn't talk to you now this way. You are in Switzerland right now, by the way, and I'm in Ottawa. How? This is the contribution of Newton. It is the contribution of Einstein. It is the contribution of the scientists. Therefore, we need math. We need science. We should not forget about this. But everything should start with that, with the purpose. And then we get the wonderful. Therefore, I say this is the model I have made. And here, Professor Nasiruddin Ahmed, and brilliant people, Lee Wallace, Richard Fransham, the greatest for me. I'm talking about for me, they are greatest for me. I did not meet Einstein yet, so I do not know, but I know they are my Einstein. They are showing me. So therefore, I believe that this is the model. It would work, I think. And now I also want to talk about, this is the model, but I have also, I'm very much mindful that the world, the whole, our earth, the globe, is that so much, there is the differences between countries to countries about their abilities, about their capacities, and about the infrastructure. The disparity is huge, we know. Think about my home country where I was born, Bangladesh. Yes, we are doing much better than 20 years, 30 years, or even 10 years back. We are doing better. But one of the poorest, one of the very struggling countries in the world, and our population is huge. So think about countries in other continents like South America or of course Africa. We should not forget. So what I am thinking, and I feel I would like to cry for my people who I grown up with, my friends who we went to school and they could not finish grade 3, 4, 5. They were kicked out. And the system, they were beaten. They do not know. It was horrible. When I think about this, our teacher, I remember, I have so many things to share. I remember the student would come, they're frightening. The teacher will start doing the corporate punishment. They would be, I'm not blaming teachers, because this is the system again. They did not know. Those teachers were not trained how to teach. When I did my teachers training college, I did my degree in education in Queen's University, I realized that, oh, what we did, how I was taught. So millions of children, they have potential, wonderful potential, but they did not get opportunity to go further than even elementary school. So I have this is in my mind, and I, like you, Yannick, there are people like you, they are ready to be united. And therefore, we organized in an institution called PEACE, Proactive Education for All Children Enrichment, all, not for one, all. Yes, of course, it's a dream, big dream. I cannot do it, but someone will be, after I'll be gone. You are younger than I am. You will be continuing this, Yani, or your children will be continuing. This is the way we should go. So proactive education for all children enrichment. The purpose is how to deliver those quality education. In my case, if we are lucky, if we can implement part of our purpose, part of our philosophy, the purpose of education, and we need to deliver it to those places they are way behind. For example, the children of my village home where I was born, in a remote area, those children are still struggling. Still, I want to bring this to them. This is what I want to say, and this is possible. The good news is, because this science and math made it possible. We can do it from here. It doesn't matter where we are. Number of people all the time when I'll be talking, because I'm amazed. As I said, some of those people, for me, they are the prophet of this time, I would say. One of them I have been talking about, his name is Neil Turok. Neil Turok is a theoretical physicist. He is the director of Perimeter Institute in Waterloo, Canada. Neil Turok, I was listening his lecture, messy lecture, called The Universe Within. As you understand, he's a top, the scientist of the world right now. And I was fortunate, I had an opportunity to see him in person when he came to Ottawa University of Ottawa. And what he said that I want to share with my friends and viewers and listeners. So Neil Turok is a scientist, and by the way, he was also the student and colleague of Stephen Hawking, who just passed away. We all know who is Stephen Hawking, right? He said, I'll be reading it, remaking our world in more holistic and far-sighted ways. We need to remake our world. And he, being a scientist, he was born in South Africa. Okay, remember, he's a British South African, and now he's Canadian also. And he has an amazing, enthusiastic approach. And he said, the selfish, individualistic behavior that are often the root cause of our environmental and financial crisis and human misery. I would say this is because of the people who are only few people of this art. They are dominating this world, unfortunately, and they have all the power, money. We all know this. I don't want to go to politics right now, although we know that we cannot do anything either. So I cannot be more agree with him. This is because of the people who are selfish. They do not want, they want more. They want only more. But he also said the scientists, and I would add even educators, are too often being happy to be left alone to do their science without thinking why they are doing it. This is the problem, right? We are doing every day job, but we don't ask why we are doing it. So therefore, what he said, and I'm so happy, and therefore I like him so much. He said, it's time to connect our science to our humanity. Once linking intelligence to our hearts to have a wide open door to a brighter future. If we link our heart, our intelligence and heart, if are harmonized, eventually we'll have a wider door into the universe and we could do better. So I would also like to, because I know it's time, in Bengali, I'll be using my mother tongue right now. And I always, almost every time, I would say, and you heard the name Rabindranath Tagore, the Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. I'm proud of him. He's the Bengali poet, my mother tongue. And he's not a poet only. He's a philosopher. He's a scientist, I would say. He's an agriculturist. He had hours and hours debate with Einstein. He would be sitting with Einstein and giving debate with him. One of his beautiful, and he composed songs, and what he did not do, everything he did. So I want to just, for my Bengali speaking friends and relatives, I'm going to read it if you don't mind. And then I'll be translating in English. তুমি কি কেবলই ছবি শুধু পটে লেখা, ওই যে সুদূর নিহারিকা, যারা করে আছে বীর আকাশের নীল, ওই যারা দিন রাত্রে, আলো হাতে চলিয়াছে আধারের যাত্রী, এই তারা রবি, গ্রহ তারা রবি, তুমি কি তাদের মতো সত্য নও? I know, Yannick, sorry you did not understand this, but I'm going to speak in English. And if you need, next time I'll be speaking in French also. In English, it will be, are you a mere painting? A portrait to see? See the vast galaxies nested in the sky, like swarming bees, those that day and night travel in darkness with their light, heavenly bodies. Tell me, you are as alive. Why I'm bringing this? You see, our human being, our children, we are making them just a matter, a material, just a machine. We are sending our children to school like they are the machine of a factory. This would not, I don't think it would work unless we do not give them that heart. We do not connect their intellect with their hearts. This is why. This is what he was thinking when he wrote this poem or song. It is a wonderful. If there is a singer here who I would love to hear this, and you love the melody, how it can be transformed. That you see what is this we are saying? Those that day and night travel in darkness with their light. We need those who will be showing the light. We need those who will bring the light, and like the galaxies, the billions of stars, they're showing us the light. And then Toluk, by the way, he said the same. He said, we have many things to learn from the nature. Yes, this is the example. You just at night, if you go and take a few minutes and reflect and think about the cosmos, the light, the billions of stars out there, we'll be asking ourselves, what are we doing? Is it $100,000 is important for me, or to think about humanity, the intelligence that we are given by the nature to invest it for the humanity? And last but not least, I think we need to finish. So another interesting man His name is Daniel Pink. Daniel Pink, I'm also fond of his writing. He used to be the speechwriter of Clinton administration, the President Clinton and Al Gore. So he wrote a book. It's called A Whole New Mind. A Whole New Mind. Lots of interesting things. We can talk hours and hours about this book and many others. We hear other books also. And you see, there are other people like I'm coming. I don't want to confuse. So Daniel Pink is talking about the education model that we need to think about for next year, for 5 years, in 5 years. This book was written almost 8-10 years back, but I see right now, you see, he is talking about left brain and right brain. So as you know, left brain are like, I was trained, my whole my educational life was dedicated to engineering. We are left brain. And in fact, if we see last 200 years, not too many, so think about just 200 years, what happened. In 200 years, what happened? The agricultural age, the farmers, and then we came to industrial, after that. So people, it's the factory worker, farmers and factory workers, then knowledge worker, right? Whatever, still we have that knowledge worker, people like the coding and all kind of technology things, the high tech, all those things. Now these are gone almost, right? We're going to AI, artificial intelligence. We are talking about the planetary civilization going to Mars and other planet. So we are going to conceptual. This is where we are going, more about creativity. Therefore, and by the way, Yuval Harari, the another great man, I'm fascinated to talk about his contribution to the world right now. He's a professor of Hebrew University in Jerusalem. So this is another one. So I'm talking about this. So we need 4C now. 4C, the communication that in AlivEducation model, we say it, and in fact, 4 of them there. The communication. The other thing is creativity. The other one is the critical thinking. And of course, collaboration. These days, as you see, what was happening even 10, 15 years back, the United States and the Western world, they took advantage of Asian countries, as you know, India, China, and even my home country, Bangladesh, the outsourcing, the work that people were doing here and paying, say, $25 per hour or $30 per hour, they could do it for a whole month with this money, or whole day. $25 they will be paying, and they'll be getting that. That was that, and that is still being done. I mean, they're doing it again. Now the question is, it is even worse right now. This class, this people who are doing this, they are the owner. They don't need anyone. They're getting the software, and software can do this also. So the one that takes hours and hours to do it, this a coding and computer programming or AI can do it in few seconds or few minutes. So now Yuval Harari is saying there will be a time that there will be an irrelevant class. The Marx and Engels, the law would not work there. It's the capitalism that we used to say that capitalists they're exploiting. Yes, they are exploiting, but they will say, I don't need to exploit. I don't need you as a human being. I have my artificial intelligence. They will be doing it for me, right? So therefore, Daniel Pink is saying we must go back And I agree with this. It is not possible to give the machine the way to go up, to go exceed the human capabilities. We need to start thinking. We need to be empathetic. We need to go back to our heart, that this is all about us, about human being. And if we want to be human, we should give technology the less important than human being.
Dr. Monjur Chowdhury, it has been great to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
Monjur Chowdhury.